they were saying that I spent 4 years in the Air Force in between the two wars, from 58 to 62. So I was in after the Korean War and before the Vietnam War. But my two younger brothers joined the Army during the Vietnam War. And one brother was sent to, my youngest brother was sent to Korea, and my middle brother was sent to Vietnam. And he was on patrol one day, and he was point man. And as he walked by, he saw the Viet Cong setting up a trap for his squad. So he knew that he had to warn the squad, but he knew that if he warned them, that they were going to focus their fire on him. But he did. He yelled at his squad to drop down, and so the Viet Cong focused their fire on him, and he was killed over there. But the thing is, like Mike said, no greater love hath man than to lay down his life for a friend, and that's what my brother William did.
But the freedom that is so precious to us is not necessarily free to everybody. I have a dear friend who is a school teacher in Little Rock, Arkansas, by the name of Martha Cothran. Martha's a member of the American Legion Auxiliary, patriotic organization that helps people to try to remember what their freedom is about. And Martha, as a school teacher for 30-something years, really became concerned that a lot of her kids in her classroom didn't get it when it came to what a great, great deal it is to be an American. And so on the first day of school of 2005, with the permission of her building superintendent, Martha had all of the desks taken out of the school class where she taught at Joe T. Robinson High School in Little Rock. The room's empty. Kids come in first period, they come in, there's nothing there. And they said, "Where's our desk?" Martha said, "You don't get a desk in my classroom until you tell me how you earn it." Well, the kids said, "Well, I guess we need to make good grades, and if we make good grades, we get a desk." She says, "Well, you need to make good grades, but that isn't going to get you a desk." And some of the kids said, "Well, maybe we get a desk if we behave well." She said, "You're going to behave in my class, that I can promise you. But that won't get you a desk either." So nobody figured it out, and the kids sat on the floor, stood against the walls the whole period. Class is over, the next class shuffles in, same scenario. They don't understand why their desks aren't there. By noon, kids had gotten on their cell phones and called their parents. Somebody alerted the media, and all 4 of the Little Rock television stations affiliated with the network were all out there with camera crews by noon, trying to figure out what happened to this teacher who had flipped out, lost her mind, and had taken all the desks out of the classroom. Kids came in every period. Nobody figured it out. Last class of the day. Kids had come in, sat on the floor, stood against the walls. She said, "It doesn't look like anyone's going to understand how to earn the desk, so let me tell you." And with that, she walked over to the door of her classroom and opened the door, and she motioned. And when she did, in walked 27 veterans. Every one of them came in carrying a school desk. And as they put those school desks in rows in that classroom that day, Martha said, "Guys, you don't have to earn your school desk, because these guys, they already did. They earned that desk for you. And don't ever forget it." She explained to them how that freedom maybe was free to them, and that they didn't have to pay for that desk, and they weren't going to be charged for the books that they were handed, but somebody had paid a very dear price for it. And she mentioned that some of the friends of these guys who had brought the desk in, some of their friends didn't come back. And she's asked them never to forget and to write essays about what they had remembered. That day when the ceremony was over, she said as kids were leaving, one of the television cameramen stayed behind. And she looked over at him, and tears were coming down his cheek. And he came over to her and he says, "Lady, I just want to tell you something. I was in Vietnam. And when I came home, nobody thanked me. Nobody." And this big guy, and I know him, he's cameraman for one of the local Little Rock stations. And with tears coming down his eyes, he says, "Thank you, because today, for the first time since I came home from Vietnam, I feel like somebody appreciated what I went over there to do." You know, no one who ever serves this country who gives that much should get back so little. And I know there's no way to ever adequately thank those who serve us. But we ought to make sure that when they go, we give them everything they need to do their jobs. But we also need to make sure that when they come back, that they get everything that they deserve for having done their job. And today we'd like to close out by just saying thanks. Thanks to those who have made it so that when people come back from Iraq, they're remembered for what they did. And some of those who are helping make that happen are those who, that when they came back from Vietnam, didn't get the thank you they deserved. But you know something about saying thanks? It's never too late to say thanks. We'd like for Steve and Chuck to come forward. I want you to take a look at that banner. I want you to take a look at that banner, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you, and thank you for what you've done.
Thank you.